Pork Truth.
Nothing's the same since you went away. My eyes are red, the sting and the pain, and I'm the only one to blame. Drowning in tears, don't know what to do. I've been crying forever since I ran out of you. I ran out of you. My dear contact lenses, no more contact lenses. I miss you most of all.
Download our app and get free expedited shipping on your first order. Never run out of contacts.
1-800-CONTACTS.
What if your phone wasn't just a phone? With Rdio, it isn't. It's a musical fire hose ready to pump your ears full of music. It's a musical bloodhound tracking down that one perfect station based on your favorite artist or genre. Go get it, boy. With Rdio, your phone isn't just a phone. Download the free Rdio app right now and get your music any way you want for free until you say otherwise. That's RDIO. Rdio. Tuned to you.
Resistance is futile.
And now, a show that boldly goes where no show has gone before. The Week in Geek. With your hosts, David Ducorbier and Brian Held. Here to cover the hottest trends and topics in science fiction news and events. With movie, book, and game reviews, cosplay, comic book, and convention commentary. Interviews with authors, media guests, and local fandom. So raise your nerd flag high and prepare to be assimilated. This is The Week in Geek. And now, here's your hosts, David Ducorbier and Brian Held.
Good afternoon, New Orleans. This is The Week in Geek. I'm your host, David Ducorbier, with
Brian Held.
And we're back in studio, Brian.
Yes.
Dude, and they bought us new chairs.
Yeah, that's right. No, I didn't even notice, man.
Like captain's chairs. Captain's log, June 16th, 2000 and what year again?
15, yes.
I didn't watch Back to the Future recently. I know we're supposed to be in that year now.
Yep. Hey, and you're back, too.
I am.
You weren't here last week.
No, I wasn't. My back, actually, I woke up this morning, and it actually feels slightly better.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah. So, all right. Now, we got a lot of show to get to and not a lot of time to do it. As always, we do Skungy's Pick of the Week. We have a fine guest by the name of
Dr. Anthony J. Martin.
And then in the third segment, we'll have Top Nerd News, Word of the Day, Game of Thrones recap, then This Week in Geek History. So now, as always, we strongly urge you to check out the Facebook page. It's facebook.com/The Week in Geek, or follow us on Twitter @Twig Radio, and check out our website at twigradio.com. And Brian, how can they hear this lovely show?
Well, not only can you listen to us live on Wgso.com, but our archives are there. Just go to the top left, click on podcasts, scroll down to Week in Geek. You can find all our archives, but you can also use the TuneIn Radio app for your smartphone or tablet. Just go to TuneIn Radio app, download that. You can listen to us live there, and our archives can be found there as well.
Yeah, and follow the radio station at WGSO 990.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And hey, quick shout out to Burrell Leach. One of our listeners out of Mississippi who listens to us on TuneIn Radio all the time.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So, a lot of our show is taken from the Facebook page. So, if you miss any of that, you can always miss any of the show. You can go to Facebook.
Yeah.
Because we actually gold mined a new guest from one of the Facebook feeds.
Yeah, yeah, but don't spoil it.
I'm just letting the listeners know that if you're involved with us, we'll be romantically involved with you. So, throw us a bone. We might throw you some free swag.
Yep. Author Brandon Black is our Facebook admin, and he does a fantastic job.
That he is. Now, speaking of dumbasses, let's bring on my favorite dumbass, Skungy, with his Pick of the Week.
Skungy's Pick of the Week.
I am not what you would call a handsome man.
Skungy's Pick of the Week is brought to you by Wits Inn Bar and Pizza Kitchen. Find them on the web at witsin.com. Skungy's Pick of the Week.
I love lamp.
Skungy, what's shaking bacon?
Gentlemen, how are y'all doing on this fine day? I love, and I could feel the love and the admiration every time I talk to you, Dave.
Whatever. So, hey, look, I know you're in touch with your inner geek right now, and are you still over at the game store?
Yeah, I'm at the game store right now.
Nice. You're getting save me some free swag. Don't steal everything. Brian, today's free RPG day. Did you know that?
Yeah, it is. I knew. Yeah.
Yeah, just making sure.
Okay.
Just making sure. All right, Skungy, we don't have a lot of time, so let's get straight into the E3 news that you brought us today.
All right, yeah, E3 was going on this week, man, and there's so much coming out of E3. It's not even funny. I mean, my head literally hurts from all the information that I've been trying to grip onto. But I want to just hit a couple of, like, bullet points, some of the most important and biggest news. Number one, the Xbox One will be backwards compatible starting this
snap.
fall.
That's what I'm talking about. Who needs a dirty PC when you can have the Xbox?
And it's going to be done through emulation. And the cool thing is, any game that you have that's digital.
Oh, yeah.
When you have a digital game, when it becomes available as being backwards compatible, it automatically shows up in your library for Xbox One.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. So, all right, that's good news. That saves me a lot of money.
Also,
yeah,
they're going to have a game preview with the Xbox One where you'll be able to basically test out games that are still in development, and people give feedback upon it. So they're going to have that ability to help. So gamers are going to help games get better.
Nice. Well, I mean, isn't that already called beta testing, though?
Basically, yeah, but now it's going to be available on a much wider scale.
So you don't have to actively search and scour the internet for the free beta testing.
Exactly.
All right.
Couple of notable games. Final Fantasy VII is getting a remake, which it's not, in my opinion, it's not the best RPG of all times, but it's definitely the most popular.
Oh, yeah, the internet blew up with everybody going, oh, Final Fantasy VII, boo!
Basically, Square Enix is finally like, you know what, we need to show them something here. Final Fantasy Remake.
Hey, Jeff over at Vaping Tiger was asking about Final Fantasy. Isn't there a new Final Fantasy coming out this year?
It's called World of Final Fantasy. It's one of those like little. It looks cutesy, but it takes characters from all the different Final Fantasy games and puts them together. It's different, but it looks cool. They didn't give that much information on it. They did show a trailer during the Sony conference.
Okay,
but it looks pretty cool.
And that's single player or MMO or what?
That's going to be single player, but with online abilities.
Oh, all right.
And that's
Jeff
at the Vaping Tiger.
Yeah.
Athenia Parkway, right across from the Lakeside Mall.
One of our fine sponsors.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Really cool game that was by Ubisoft called For Honor. Now, I don't know if this is coming out this year or next year, but you have the ability, it's like sword fighting mechanic that's really, it seems very accurate. You can play it as knights or Vikings or samurai. Team-based multiplayer sword fighting.
So is it kind of like that what was that Spike TV show where they had
Ultimate Warrior?
Ultimate Warrior.
That was such a sham.
This show was a sham. That show was awesome.
Yeah. But you could think of something like that, yeah. But it's really cool because the mechanics of it, it's like you block on how you hold the sword. How you move the stick is how you hold the sword. So it looks really cool.
So how do you hold your stick?
Come on, Dave.
I couldn't help it. Moving on.
One of the things that I was really surprised about, South Park has a sequel coming out.
Get out.
Yeah, so it's going to be called The Fractured But Whole.
The Fractured But Hole?
Exactly, The Fractured Butthole.
That's WHOLE.
Well, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
The last one was very like the fantasy Lord of the Rings. This one's going to take based off the Coon and Friends episodes where they were superheroes.
Oh, nice.
So it looks fun and hysterical.
Now, what's this rare game collection thing? That
the rare game collection is going to be $30 for the Xbox One. It's going to have Battletoads Arcade, Conker's Bad Fur Day, RC Pro-Am, a whole bunch of classic games.
Killer Instinct, wasn't that the one that had like the Velociraptor and like a whole bunch of just weird things? It was kind of like the
yeah, it had like the skeleton. It had like a werewolf. It was really cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Then Horizon coming out on a PlayStation 4. It's hard to explain this game, but basically humanity's been moved back to like where they're now tribe people, and machines have taken over the world, but it's not like they're sentient. They're more like animals, machine animals. So like they hunt the machines, they move in herds, and you try to hunt them like they're animals and get supplies off of them. It looks gorgeous.
All right, and finally, I got to watch the YouTube video this morning of the actual multiplayer gameplay of
Star Wars Battlefront. OMG, my BFF Jill.
Dude, I mean, the video is phenomenal. I mean, it's got like Call of Duty feel to it. I mean, it's just oh my God! If you have
and I watched some of the commentary, and they're talking about it's not just developers going and taking like an X-Wing and putting in the game. They went and got footage from the movies and then adapted that, right? So you're looking at real, intense detail, plus all the sounds, that was in the movies, all that's there.
Well,
when a stormtrooper gets killed, it looks like he reacts like they do in the movie, like when they flop, it's almost identical.
Yeah, and the fighter technology looked really good with the A-Wings and the X-Wings. It looks like they stepped it up a notch from the previous game.
Yep.
All right, Skungy, we got to go to break, and we have our guest calling in now, so we should probably get to it, right?
Yeah, so two quick things to mention. Fallout 4 was announced last Sunday. It's awesome. So much stuff on the net about it. Pip-Boy Edition totally sold out. You can't even get it.
Really?
And but
I got it.
So did I. And the Bethesda store is having a sale, 20% off sale through Monday for E3. So if you want cool Bethesda merchandise, go get it.
All right, guys. So Skungy, thank you. We'll talk to you again next week, buddy.
No problem, guys. Later.
All right, this is The Week in Geek, and when we come back, we're going to talk to our guest,
Anthony J. Martin.
Right, and this is The Week in Geek. Stay tuned. You're listening to WGSO 990 AM. Spirits on Bourbon. Spirits on Bourbon. Come to 615 Bourbon, home of the resurrection. Try their gumbo, wings, couchon de lait, or a ribeye steak. Have a shot on Edward's barber chair or sit at his haunted table. Check out their website at spiritsonbourbon.com and watch their video from Spike TV's Bar Rescue. Come to Spirits on Bourbon for a haunting good time.
Wits Inn Bar and Pizza Kitchen. Wits Inn is an upscale neighborhood bar and pizza kitchen in the heart of Mid-City at 141 North Carrollton. Wits Inn is open 7 days a week and the kitchen is always open late. Make Wits Inn your home for sports. With 18 TVs, the NFL package, and the SEC channel, you'll never miss a game. Check out our food and drink specials like Thursday $5 pizzas and the Wit Maker at WITSINN.com. Wits Inn Bar and Pizza Kitchen. Think, drink, live, laugh. Come to New Orleans' friendly local gaming shop, Gopher Games, located on 701 David Drive in Metairie. Games like Warhammer, War Machine, Magic the Gathering, HeroClix, Pathfinder, and many more. Visit us at gophergamesnola.com. That's G-O-4 gamesnola.com for the latest news and upcoming events. We're open 7 days a week. Call us at 504-324-8335 or come on by. Gopher Games, a hangout for gamers by gamers.
Leave the smoke behind and come chase the clouds at the Vaping Tiger in Metairie. The Vaping Tiger has everything to suit your vaping needs, from starter kits to advanced devices. We specialize in handcrafted, artisan-blended e-juices designed to tickle the most fickle taste buds. Come see us at 2812 Athenia Parkway, 1 block off Vets behind the Lazy Boy Gallery. That's the Vaping Tiger, 2812 Athenia Parkway, and at vapingtiger.com. Come out of the smoke and join us in the clouds.
Join the underground, the Media Underground, Media Underground Comics.
I'm doing my part.
Join Media Underground Comics at 4953 West Napoleon.
Would you like to know more?
Open Monday through Saturday from noon to 6.
Would you like to know more?
Then go to MediaUndergroundComics.com.
Outstanding! We have the comics. We have the collectibles. We need you. Media Underground Comics, 4953 West Napoleon, and MediaUndergroundComics.com.
Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop. Before you get booked up, head over to 631 North Carrollton, right off Orleans, to Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop. Off the books, Tubby & Coos is a nerd mecca for books, board games, and geeky t-shirts. So book it over to Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop at 631 North Carrollton. If you don't want to do it by the book, use their free Wi-Fi and check their stock at tubbyandcoos.com. Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop, where it's all geek to me.
Hello, This is Chris Walken. And if you've got a hankering for more cowbell, you can get it on The Week in Geek on WGSO 990 AM. Come on.
Welcome back, New Orleans. You're listening to The Week in Geek on WGSO 990 AM. This is Brian Held with
David Ducorbier.
And, all right, so we're ready for our interview.
Yeah, quick shout out to another one of our sponsors, nolashops.com. Go to nolashops.com. Look up in the upper left-hand corner to see Brian and I's shining faces.
Yeah. But no, there's a lot of good stuff on NOLA Shops, art, entertainment, stuff going on around the city. Check it out. There's a lot of good links.
All right, so let's bring on our guest.
All right, so our guest is Dr. Anthony J. Martin. He's a paleontologist. He's taught at Emory University since the early 90s. He's best known for his books, An Introduction to the Study of Dinosaurs, Life Traces of the Georgia Coast, and Dinosaurs Without Bones. Dr. Martin, you there?
Yes, I am.
Hey, good to have you. So,
It's great to be on the show. I'm totally geeked out about it.
Well, you're in good company, sir. So, for all our listeners out there, just give us a quick rundown. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Let's see. Well, I'm a geologist, paleontologist, and I'm an ichnologist. An ichnologist is somebody who studies traces, tracks, trails, burrows, nests, anything that an animal leaves behind of its behavior.
So I wanted to ask you about that ichnology, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
So I have a good buddy of mine who's an ichthyologist. We call him the fish doctor, right? And of course, that Greek root word, for fish, right? So, I mean, is there any comparison there? Like, I was trying to understand the etymology of the word and what it means, right?
Yeah, that's right. And in fact, talks that I give, I always show a slide that. You ever seen that meme with Batman slapping Robin?
Yes, yes.
So I do that slide where Robin's saying, "Ichnology, isn't that the study of fish?" And Batman's slapping him. It's like, no, it's the study of traces. So the difference is that ichnos is the Greek root for trace, and then ichthyos is the Greek root for fish. Now, what's really cool is I've actually studied fish trace fossils. So that makes me an ichthyological ichnologist or an ichnological ichthyologist.
That's awesome.
Say that 5 times fast.
That's great. So, kind of looking into some of your work, studying traces of dinosaurs and things like that, some of what I've read compares what you're doing at, CSI-like techniques to determine, the origins or the behaviors of these animals that lived thousands, millions of years ago. And how does that work out, right? We have modern CSI techniques that we use and things that we can compare, from biological life forms that exist now. But I mean, isn't that more difficult to do it for stuff that's lived so long ago?
Potentially, yeah, it could be more difficult. The great thing about applying these sort of techniques, ichnological techniques to dinosaurs, though, is that a lot of dinosaurs were really big. so they left big, obvious tracks, or they left big tooth marks, or big steaming piles of feces. They left those, but they're not steaming now.
Right.
It's been long enough, yeah. But we can look at those, and we can make all sorts of interpretations just based on the visual information we get from those. What a lot of modern CSI techniques often involve biochemistry and maybe physical properties and those sorts of things that require specialized equipment in laboratory. But a lot of what I do in the field, and I do tracking of animals, for instance. And a lot of people listening right now, for instance, they might be hunters, and they use tracking as part of their hunting. So I like to say that really ichnology is a part of being human. It's just using our eyes, our brains, and our training and applying that to understanding animal behavior, interpreting animal presence. And then we're just, with dinosaurs, we're just taking it a little bit further back into the past.
Oh, wow. All right. So, of course, all of those techniques you use to put together your book, Dinosaurs Without Bones. So what's the book about? What does it focus on?
The book looks specifically at dinosaur trace fossils. So the trace fossils would be, I have a chapter on tracks, a couple of chapters on tracks, actually. one on dinosaur nests, one on dinosaur burrows, and I was involved in a study of the only known burrowing dinosaur. Broken bones or tooth marks or marks on their teeth, those are trace fossils too. Dinosaurs actually had their own rock collections 200 million years before us. They would swallow rocks, and we call those gastroliths that they used to help with their digestion. I mentioned feces earlier. So we have, those are called coprolites. That's an example of dinosaur trace fossil. And then there are various other types of traces that dinosaurs left, even including traces on their landscape, how they changed landscapes just by their mere presence. So the book is kind of a comprehensive look at all of those traces. A lot of previous books done on dinosaur trace fossils really focused just on tracks, but I wanted to be more equitable about it and just show here are all of the different types of clues that dinosaurs left behind for us.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, the book itself is written for a general audience. It's not real stuffy and scientific, right?
Yeah, that's right. In fact, my editor had to cut some of the humor, and it already has a lot of humor. But I did try to make it more of a readable, kind of lighthearted, but still scholarly book. There's, I don't know, something like 70 pages of footnotes at the end about all of the scientific information backing it up. But it isn't really intended for a popular audience, for science geeks who just want to sit down with a good book about dinosaurs and learn about dinosaurs from a different perspective, different from just looking at the bones themselves.
Right. So you mentioned earlier about the burrowing dinosaur, and you're the first one to make that discovery of that particular animal, right?
Yeah, I was part of that discovery. I was really lucky. There's a professor out of Montana State University, Dave Riccio. He and one of his field crew, Yoshi Katsura, they discovered this dinosaur, the bones of it, in this deposit out in western Montana. And then Dave brought me out there to look at the burrow because they found the bones in a burrow structure. So I helped describe the burrow that was in. Well, it turned out the dinosaur, once they excavated it and they looked at the bones in a lab, they realized it was a new species of dinosaur. So we got to name that dinosaur Oryctodromeus cubicularis. It's a mouthful, but what it means from the Greek roots is that it's running digger of the lair, that it was a dinosaur that was able to dig a burrow and live in a den.
Okay.
It also had what was really cool, though, was it had partial remains of two juveniles in there with it. So it really was doing denning behavior about 95 million years ago.
All right. Well,
yeah, so it had.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was just, we're getting ready to come up to a hard break, and I wanted to make sure, where can we find your book?
Oh, well, you can find them in most bookstores. You can find it online, of course, but there are different places that you can get it online. But I would suggest finding it at local bookstores. I think one of the bookstores there in New Orleans had ordered copies of it, from what I understand. But I think if you just go to your especially independent bookstores, I'm a big fan of those.
All right.
Go to those, support them, keep them in business. But it is available in paperback, so that's a neat thing now. It's very affordable now in paperback. You can get a digital version if you want, or you can get hardback if you want something to last for a lifetime.
All right, Dr. Martin, I know you're on Twitter, Ichnologist. Any other quick web locations?
Any other quick what?
Facebook. Are you on Facebook, et cetera, et cetera? Twitter?
Oh, yes, I am on Facebook. That's correct. Yeah, I'm on Facebook as Tony Martin, and you can also join the Facebook site,
thank you. We got it.
Without Bones.
Great.
Okay.
We got to go to news. All right, thank you. This is WGSO. Spirits on Bourbon. Spirits on Bourbon. Come to 615 Bourbon, home of the resurrection. Try their gumbo, wings, couchon de lait, or a ribeye steak. Have a shot on Edward's barber chair or sit at his haunted table. Check out their website at spiritsonbourbon.com and watch their video from Spike TV's Bar Rescue. Come to Spirits on Bourbon for a haunting good time.
Wits Inn Bar and Pizza Kitchen. Wits Inn is an upscale neighborhood bar and pizza kitchen in the heart of Mid-City at 141 North Carrollton. Wits Inn is open 7 days a week and the kitchen is always open late. Make Wits Inn your home for sports. With 18 TVs, the NFL package, and the SEC channel, you'll never miss a game. Check out our food and drink specials like Thursday $5 pizzas and the Wit Maker at WITSINN.com. Wits Inn Bar and Pizza Kitchen. Think, drink, live, laugh.
Leave the smoke behind and come chase the clouds at the Vaping Tiger in Metairie. The Vaping Tiger has everything to suit your vaping needs, from starter kits to advanced devices. We specialize in handcrafted, artisan-blended e-juices designed to tickle the most fickle taste buds. Come see us at 2812 Athenia Parkway, 1 block off Vets behind the Lazy Boy Gallery. That's the Vaping Tiger, 2812 Athenia Parkway, and at vapingtiger.com. Come out of the smoke and join us in the clouds. In a New Orleans that never was and never will be, airships float high above the city while platoons of clockwork automatons patrol the streets below. In Storyville, pirates, streetwalkers, gamblers, and thieves prowl back alleys in search of their next mark. New Orleans by Gaslight, the premier anthology of locally written and locally produced steampunk poetry and fiction, all set in Victorian New Orleans. Buy it now, available in both paperback and Kindle versions at Amazon.com. New Orleans by Gaslight.
Shot and killed while transporting a suspect. Cops looking for 33-year-old Travis Boyes. Investigators saying he kills Holloway with his own gun. More as we know it. Thousands gathering in Charleston, South Carolina to remember 9 people murdered at a church service there and to pray for peace in America. The Blaze Radio's Brad James reports.
The people of Charleston in general and the people of Emmanuel AME Church specifically have given us one of the most powerful witnesses of what God's grace is all about.
That's former Arkansas governor and GOP presidential candidate Mike Huckabee, the judge allowing family members of victims to speak to the 21-year-old accused killer, Dylan Roof, through a TV monitor in court. He showed no emotion as they all offered forgiveness. Witnesses say he opened fire with a handgun at a Wednesday night service, killing 9 people after being welcomed by worshipers. Huckabee says churches across America already putting security measures in place.
It's a horrible thing that we have to arm people at churches, but that's better than the fact that many would die because there was no one there to defend them.
Huckabee speaking on Fox and Friends. Brad James, The Blaze News.
A Cincinnati police officer losing his life. The Blaze Radio's Tom Peace.
CPD lost one of our best today.
That's Cincinnati Police Chief Jeffrey Blackwell. Officer Sonny Kim is dead after he's shot by a man who apparently calls 911 to report a man with a gun acting strangely and describes himself. Police say Kim is shot by the suspect, who in turn is killed by other officers in a gunfight. They say Trey Pierre Hummons uses social media to post hints that he's planning suicide by cop.
We're devastated that Officer Kim, who was one of our best, came to work today and does not get to go home.
Tom Peace, The Blaze News.
This is news on the Blaze Radio Network. Truth lives here.
Join the underground, the Media Underground, Media Underground Comics.
I'm doing my part.
Join Media Underground Comics at 4953 West Napoleon.
Would you like to know more?
Open Monday through Saturday from noon to 6.
Would you like to know more?
Then go to MediaUndergroundComics.com.
We have the comics. We have the collectibles. We need you. Media Underground Comics, 4953 West Napoleon, and MediaUndergroundComics.com.
Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop. Before you get booked up, head over to 631 North Carrollton, right off Orleans, to Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop. Off the books, Tubby & Coos is a nerd mecca for books, board games, and geeky t-shirts. So book it over to Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop at 631 North Carrollton. If you don't want to do it by the book, use their free Wi-Fi and check their stock at tubbyandcoos.com. Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop, where it's all geek to me.
Come to New Orleans' friendly local gaming shop, Gopher Games, located on 701 David Drive in Metairie. Games like Warhammer, War Machine, Magic the Gathering, HeroClix, Pathfinder, and many more. Visit us at gophergamesnola.com. That's G-O, the number 4, gamesnola.com for the latest news and upcoming events. We're open 7 days a week. Call us at 504-324-8335 or come on by. Gopher Games, a hangout for gamers by gamers.
Leave the smoke behind and come chase the clouds at the Vaping Tiger in Metairie. The Vaping Tiger has everything to suit your vaping needs, from starter kits to advanced devices. We specialize in handcrafted, artisan-blended e-juices designed to tickle the most fickle taste buds. Come see us at 2812 Athenia Parkway, 1 block off Vets behind the Lazy Boy Gallery. That's the Vaping Tiger, 2812 Athenia Parkway, and at vapingtiger.com. Come out of the smoke and join us in the clouds.
Hello, Commander. In response to the alien threat, you must listen to the Weekend Geek on 990 AM WGSO.
Welcome back. This is The Week in Geek. I'm your host, David Ducorbier, with
Brian Held.
All right, now, Brian, we have a lot of top nerd news to discuss, but right out the gate, we want to talk about the Game of Thrones finale.
Yeah.
And spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. If you have not seen the Game of Thrones finale, please turn down your radio for the next 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is your Game of Thrones recap in 60 seconds-ish.
Game of Thrones recap in 60 seconds. Season 5 has met its end, and so have many of its characters.
Fatality!
Stannis Baratheon is having a terrible, horrible, very bad, no good day. First, his wife hangs herself. Then, half his army leaves him. Then his mistress leaves him.
Okay, bye-bye now.
Then the other half of his army is killed. Finally, Brienne of Tarth...
It's a man, baby!
...cuts off his head.
Finish him!
Over at the Assassin's Academy, Arya Stark... ...is having a slightly better day. First, she kills an old nemesis.
Hello, Newman.
But it costs her a teacher. And then she goes blind.
You'll shoot your eye out! You'll shoot your eye out!
Meanwhile, in Dorne...
Durka.
Jaime Lannister...
Hence the name Goldmember.
...has a tender moment with his daughter, who promptly dies. In King's Landing, Cersei Lannister is forced on a walk of shame in the nude. We're talking full frontal for like 2 minutes. Back at the Wall in Castle Black,
by the power of Grayskull,
the Night's Watch play a trick on Jon Snow.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Then they kill him.
Fatality!
At least Tyrion Lannister...
Call me Elf one more time.
...survived the whole season. Game of Thrones recap in 60 seconds.
All right, so that's the end of season 5, man. Season 6 is coming up, man. You haven't been keeping up.
No, I haven't been keeping up.
Finish him.
But no, I do like the recaps. I think they're great.
So I need something else to start recapping. I guess we have Fear the Walking Dead coming up in a month or two. If you guys have any ideas, call us up 556-9696, but make it quick because we don't have a lot of time. Or email us at well, not email us.
Just Facebook page.
That's so 2001.
Right.
Yeah, hit us on the Facebook page or tweet us at Twig Radio.
Hey, our Facebook page has a little icon now. It says we're very responsive to messages.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that. I don't know who the hell. I know I don't respond to anything. That's all Brian.
Yeah, I know. I do. Yeah.
So, all right. You know what? We need to get straight into top nerd news because, well, I don't know. We need to. Let's do it.
Now, our top nerd news stories from around the world, brought to you by Media Underground Comics. Find them on the World Wide Web at MediaUndergroundComics.com. And now, your top nerd news stories.
All right, so you want me to start this off?
Yeah.
Well, it kind of ties into, our interview that we just had. Jurassic World scores the biggest opening weekend in history, and it beat the Avengers. So Jurassic World now holds the record for the biggest opening movie history. The final numbers were the U.S. debuted $208.8 million. and Avengers was at 207.4. So they beat them by a good million. And the overseas launch was 315.6 million.
Yeah.
And Harry Potter was the next closest at 314. That's some pretty big numbers for a monster movie.
Yeah, no, agreed. So I know you saw it. I saw it.
Yes, I saw it.
Yeah.
It was good. It wasn't like you expected a lot of things from it, and one of it really was just dinos fighting, and so they really did that. I mean, if you went in, what were you? You were looking for some deep, dark plot?
No,
like,
I mean,
the animals will rule. What were you looking for?
Haven't we said everything we needed to say in Jurassic Park?
Right, but they did it bigger and better.
I don't.
But Brian, they were tapping into the deep, dark fears of stem cell research and creating monsters because science is getting too big for its britches. So saith the Lord.
I don't need any more reboots or rehashes or
then you come up with some new ideas because there's no new ideas.
What do you mean?
Hollywood has tried everything, Brian.
No, they haven't.
No, they have. That's why they're forced to remake all these movies.
We have so many. Yes, you are.
Moving on, Jurassic World's unintentionally very racist line is stunning audience. Now, this ties into the fact that I constantly have to apologize for crap I say. And Chris Pratt did the pre-apology tour. He knew full well that someone would get their panties in a twist about something. And, Brian and I, we were talking about it, that Shaun of the Dead had to change some of their verbiage, some of their language, because pissed in London means drunk. So they had to say drunk in Shaun of the Dead when they first saw the zombie.
Right, just because there'd be no context for American audiences.
Well, they call the Pachyosaurus, is the official term for the raptors.
Right.
And so in the sake of brevity, they screamed, the Packies have escaped containment.
Right.
That is a racial slur in London's inner city for Pakistani natives or immigrants. I'm pretty sure that when they made this movie, they weren't thinking, we're going to offend someone by shortening the word Pachyosaurus.
Well, and I guess
I keep thinking pachyderms. I don't know.
Right? Yeah. Well,
it's an elephant.
But I think that goes into a whole larger discussion about hey, just everybody's offended by everything.
Holy crap, is that true?
And who's the Stephen Fry? Right? He has has a really good quote about being offended and it really not meaning anything. It's just kind of a whine. And I think it's I agree with him, right? I mean,
they're in a world of rampant political correctness. I mean, they're use some freaking common sense when you're just saying things, especially as politicians or public figures. You want to kind of monitor what you're saying,
right?
But for people to actively search out offenses and that's as a society as a whole, we actively search out stuff to get upset about. So screw y'all are being stupid. Get out of my face. Game of Thrones finale sets another ratings record. Staying on the ratings topic, Game of Thrones was averaged 8.11 million viewers, up 14% from both previous weeks and last year's finale of 7.14 and 7.09. So almost a whole million more viewers for this finale, which, dude, they went on. It was like Slaughterhouse 5 up in that.
So it's interesting, even though I haven't kept up past season 1, right? I wonder if they're going to be able to retain those ratings, because like Laura and I were talking earlier about, it's so depressing. Everybody's dying, right? Do I want to stay invested in this?
Well, here's the thing, though. The book readers are now. We're technically all on the same page. So what I did there, because now the books are they haven't been released. He's still writing it. Hurry up, dude. We're friggin' waiting over here.
But
talking to you, George R. R. Martin.
Yeah, but didn't Jim Butcher tell us to read slower?
Yeah, but stop it. But no, now the book readers and the TV viewers are now all the same.
Right.
So nobody really knows the whole Jon Snow thing. I mean, spoiler alert. Geez, if you haven't watched it, you're a dumbass. Jon Snow got whacked in the end.
Right.
That didn't come out right. He got killed at the end of the episode. But nobody knows what's going on. So all the theories are flying around, but there's no concrete proof until George gets the next book out.
Right, true. But I mean, there's just, you see a lot of commentary on the net about people who are just weary of the series, right? Weary of all the death and
I think, well, you could say the same thing about The Walking Dead, where people keep getting killed, you know? So, I mean, I honestly think people are butthurt at the moment because Jon Snow got killed. Dude, I literally, after it was over, even I, who just don't give a rat's ass about anything, was like, I ain't watching this show anymore. That lasted for 5 seconds. I had that thought. And I'm like, who am I kidding? I so can't wait to find out what's going to happen. But a lot of people have that thought and stick to it. Like, oh, they killed my boyfriend. I'll never watch it again.
Well, what was that meme that came out about, Game of Thrones, after killing all the actors are moving on to killing of the audience members?
Yes. They're going to start killing actors in other shows.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's it.
No character is safe in the TV genre. Hey, you know what? Daryl, let's do a quick word of the day because that leads into another one of our top nerd news stories. So without much further ado, your word of the day.
And now it's time for the word of the day.
Hell, you could say that 10,000 times and it still wouldn't be enough. It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time. Shake and bake!
The word of the day.
I love it. Say it one more time. Shake and bake!
The word of the day is brought to you by the Vaping Tiger at 2812 Athenia Parkway across from Lakeside Mall. VapingTiger.com. The word of the day.
All right, so today's word of the day, we have two of them actually, but the one that leads into our next story is cruciverbalist.
Cruciverbalist.
Cruciverbalist. That's a big one.
I like it.
It is. It kind of rolls off the tongue. Cruciverbalist. Mamma mia. That's a designer or aficionado of crossword puzzles.
That's a very specific word.
It is. It is. Well, I've heard rumors tell that there used to be words for everything. That if there was a specific even like assistant button sewer owner had words for the names for that in Old English, and I mean I want to find one of those old titles that they have it somewhere on the internet. Somebody get on that for me. So cruciverbalist, a geeky guy. I don't understand why they put geeky guy. I guess if you have an IQ above 100 and you know big words, you're thus rendered a geek in mainstream media, because it says geeky guy sneaks marriage proposal into paper's crossword. So apparently this geeky guy got the attention of his local cruciverbalist. Nice. And had his wife's name and just like things that's specific to her, like her favorite shows and things like that. And then at the end, one of the words was, a rude way to proposition someone, and the word was proposal. And so then, one of them was like, "Will you marry me?"
Right.
And she was like, "Yeah, he's a I can't say it, but he's a blank." And but she said he's an arse.
Right.
But yes, I'll marry him. So I don't know. I just thought it was kind of.
No, that was kind of cool.
Yeah. So,
little geek romance.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of nerd romances,
you have no segue for that.
No, I do.
Oh,
My Little Pony.
I can't believe you had this on there.
I stuttered because I didn't know if I should do that. My Little Pony Love Doll hits the market, Brian.
Yeah, that's disturbing. I don't even want to talk about this.
So, well, the bronies have commented all across social media. Some of them, this is why I'm slowly regretting becoming a brony.
Don't read anymore.
No. How do I mount this? I want to fill one with helium, so after I finish it, I can suck out the helium and make my voice sound funny. I don't like the way it looks. I could design something better than that. Effing China. And then, this is 100% vomit. So, Hey, what do you do? All right, guys, this is the toilet bowl humor of the week in Geek. I'm your host, David Ducorbier, with
Brian Held.
And when we come back, we're going to do This Week in Geek History. But also, Brian,
what?
Did you know Belgium is taking Facebook to court for tracking its users around the internet?
Really?
Yeah, I mean, but the Belgian court, we're worried about them because, sometimes the Belgian court likes to waffle.
Oh.
We'll be right back. Spirits on Bourbon. Come to 615 Bourbon, home of the resurrection. Try their gumbo, wings, couchon de lait, or a ribeye steak. have a shot on Edward's barber chair, or sit at his haunted table. Check out their website at spiritsonbourbon.com and watch their video from Spike TV's Bar Rescue. Come to Spirits on Bourbon for a haunting good time.
Wits Inn Bar and Pizza Kitchen. Wits Inn is an upscale neighborhood bar and pizza kitchen in the heart of Mid-City at 141 North Carrollton. Wits Inn is open 7 days a week, and the kitchen is always open late. Make Wits Inn your home for sports. With 18 TVs, the NFL package, and the SEC channel, you'll never miss a game. Check out our food and drink specials like Thursday $5 pizzas and the Wit Maker at WITSINN.com. Wits Inn Bar and Pizza Kitchen. Think, drink, live, laugh.
Leave the smoke behind and come chase the clouds at the Vaping Tiger in Metairie. The Vaping Tiger has everything to suit your vaping needs, from starter kits to advanced devices. We specialize in handcrafted, artisan-blended e-juices designed to tickle the most fickle taste buds. Come see us at 2812 Athenia Parkway, 1 block off Vets behind the Lazy Boy Gallery. That's the Vaping Tiger, 2812 Athenia Parkway, and at vapingtiger.com. Come out of the smoke and join us in the clouds.
Join the underground, the Media Underground, Media Underground Comics.
I'm doing my part.
Join Media Underground Comics at 4953 West Napoleon.
Would you like to know more?
Open Monday through Saturday from noon to 6.
Would you like to know more?
Then go to MediaUndergroundComics.com.
We have the comics. We have the collectibles. We need you. Media Underground Comics, 4953 West Napoleon, and MediaUndergroundComics.com.
In a New Orleans that never was and never will be, airships float high above the city while platoons of clockwork automatons patrol the streets below. In Storyville, pirates, streetwalkers, gamblers, and thieves prowl back alleys in search of their next mark. New Orleans by Gaslight, the premier anthology of locally written and locally produced steampunk poetry and fiction, all set in Victorian New Orleans. Buy it now, available in both paperback and Kindle versions at Amazon.com. New Orleans by Gaslight. Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop. Before you get booked up, head over to 631 North Carrollton, right off Orleans, to Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop. Off the books, Tubby & Coos is a nerd mecca for books, board games, and geeky t-shirts. So book it over to Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop at 631 North Carrollton. If you don't want to do it by the book, use their free Wi-Fi and check their stock at tubbyandcoos.com. Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop, where it's all geek to me.
To crush your enemies, to see them driving before you, and hear the lamentations of their women.
Welcome back. This is the Week in Geek. I'm your host, David Ducorbier, with
Brian Held.
All right, Brian, we don't have a whole lot of time.
We don't.
So we should go straight into it.
This Week in Geek History.
Let's do it.
This Week in Geek History.
We're sending you back to the future.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
This Week in Geek History is brought to you by Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop. Check them out at tubbyandcoos.com. Tubby & Coos Mid-City Bookshop, the nerd mecca. This Week in Geek History.
Yes! Oh my gosh!
All right, Brian, real quick.
Yes.
The other part to a word of the day was cavil.
Yes, cavil.
That is to raise irritating and trivial objections, to find fault with unnecessarily. You usually follow it with an or about. To oppose by inconsequential or frivolous or sham objections. So
that's you.
I usually like to cavil most of your
discussions.
Yes, exactly. So let's do it to it, man. What's the first one on our list?
First item on the list is June 15th, 1752.
Man, we're going back in time.
I know. It's the traditional date recognized that Benjamin Franklin conducted his famous kite experiment.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, but I mean, people aren't really sure, but that's the date that they use. Next item on the list, June 15th, 2005. Christopher Nolan's Batman Begins is released in the U.S., and one of the few DC properties I actually like.
Hey, do we have any other movies on today's Week in Geek History?
I have a sort of a reference to one.
Okay, well, no, actually, my wife actually told me about this one today. The movie Jaws was released.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, next one, June 16th, 2009. Ghostbusters, the video game, was released in the U.S., and it features a modified version of the proposed Ghostbusters 3 script.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Wait, which one? For the Commodore 64, where the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man next to the building?
No. This was in 2009. Commodore 64 would have been in the 80s.
Oh, well, then I don't remember when this was. I don't remember this game.
Well, because you don't play PC games.
Oh, it was on the dirty PC?
It was.
Who played it? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Like anybody's going to see that now.
I played it.
Yep. Okay. Well, you're the only person. You and like 10 other people have seen the script then, apparently.
Next item on the list, June 16th, 1963. Soviet cosmonaut Valentina Tereshkova was the first woman in space on the Vostok 6.
What?
Yeah.
But the Russians were more progressive than us?
Well, you know. I mean, we're not always top of the heap, Dave.
What? I don't believe it. That just don't make no sense. I don't believe that. It was a Russian woman. They don't count.
Okay.
They're big and burly. Mm-hmm. I will break him.
That's fine. Next on the list, really old one, June 18th, 1178.
What?
5 Canterbury monks see what is possibly the Giordano Bruno crater being formed on the moon.
What? How did that happen?
Well, you know.
What, they saw a big rock hit the moon? Mamma mia! That's a spicy moon!
No, there's like the head monk in the monastery has a recording of these 5 monks coming to him and describing the events about a fireball on the moon and, you know, all this kind of stuff. Yeah. So.
And so later they wrote the Canterbury Tales?
No.
Different Canterbury?
Yes.
Okay.
And
you know what? Speaking of Canterbury Tales, book of the month, people. Go to Tubby and Coos, and the book of the month is
Good Omens by Neil Gaiman and Terry Pratchett.
Very good.
Yes. Last item on my little history list here is June 21st, 1893. Making its debut at the Chicago World's Fair is the Ferris wheel, having been invented 2 years prior by George W. Gale Ferris.
Lame.
What do you mean lame? You don't like Ferris wheels?
No, unless you'll go with me and they stop it at the very top.
Okay.
Wow.
All you had to do was ask, Dave.
I don't know. The Ferris wheel, I guess it was pretty cool for its time, but I don't know. I mean, they had one at the city park, and the problem with it is it's too slow.
Okay.
Too slow.
Birthdays, June 15th. Robin Curtis, she was Lieutenant Saavik in Star Wars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, not Star Wars, Star Trek. Yeah.
It's my shirt.
I know. Yeah.
Awesome.
Dave has a shirt of the Star Trek Enterprise. It says Star Wars #1 fan.
Star Wars rules. I love the Enterprise.
All right, 6:15. Neil Patrick Harris. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
6:17. Arthur Darvill. He played Rory Williams on Doctor Who.
Cool.
Yep. 6:20. Nicole Kidman. 6:22. Bruce Campbell. Yes.
Woo!
And 6:22. Octavia Butler. And a little special shout out to my friend Brandy Brannon, who celebrates the 15th anniversary of her 42nd birthday today.
Nice. I saw what you did
there.
All right, guys. It's been another exciting installment of The Week in Geek. Find us at twigradio.com or Facebook /The Week in Geek. Follow us on Twitter at Twig Radio and download the podcast at WGSO.com.
Or the TuneIn Radio app.
Yes, thanks to Dr. Martin for coming on the show. We'll have information to it on the podcast page at WGSO.com. All right, guys, till next time, keep your nerd flag raised high.
GFL.